Joining me now is Democratic Senator Mark Warner, chairman of the Intelligence Committee. Senator, there are new explosions, as you know, in Lebanon today. This was incredibly detailed and coordinated attack. And it happened just as Secretary Blinken was arriving in Egypt, trying to negotiate a diplomatic solution. He said today that the U.S. had no advance warning. He has implicitly criticized anything that would impede a ceasefire. Do you believe that this will impede the ceasefire and hostage release negotiations?
Well, Andrea, I have two concerns. One, we were so close so many times on a ceasefire and hostage exchange, and we lost recently 6 hostages. Hirsch, who I've gotten to know his family quite well, it was a huge tragedy, and anything that sets that back is enormously challenging, not only in terms of the conflict in Gaza, but also because there's a series of nation states in the region, including Saudi Arabia, that I think are looking for a major realignment away from China and Russia, but that's not going to happen until we can bring ceasefire in Gaza. What we also are seeing now, and again, we don't know, nothing has been confirmed yet about the source of this strike, but we are very concerned about an expansion of the conflict into Lebanon and moving this kind of tit-for-tat with Hezbollah into a full-armed conflict. That is not in Israel's best interest, and obviously not in the best interest of Lebanon and other nation states in the region.
So what does this mean with Israel launching this just again as Secretary Blinken was arriving in Cairo? It's his 10th trip to the region since October 7th. This delays any chance of a deal, possibly during Joe Biden's presidency.
I strongly support Israel's right to defend itself, and clearly Israelis have, approximately 100,000 Israelis have had to move out of their homes in the north. But there is no stronger ally of Israel in the world than the United States. And it bothers me at times where the Netanyahu government sometimes takes that for granted. And I think that is not in the best long-term interest of Israel. It is not in the best long-term interest of those of us who have been lifelong supporters of Israel. I'll leave it there. I do think what we're seeing, and this is something I've spent a lot of time on the intel side, but also with our defense partners, we are seeing real-time the changing nature of kinetic conflict. We've seen it in Ukraine with the advanced use of drones, where traditional armaments just aren't effective. Look, Ukraine has had to move some of our most advanced tanks back from the front line that we gave them because of drone use. We are seeing technology manipulation in ways that were kind of like James Bond spy movies a few years back, but are happening real time in nation states. This is why I continue to be on your show and everywhere else and say, conflict is not going to be just tanks and guns. It is technology competition, and it is also something, we're going to highlight this afternoon about the ability of our adversarial nations to try to interfere in our election process.
And that hearing that you were holding today, you and Marco Rubio, there have been a number of developments recently on this front, including the fact that the State Department has sanctioned RT, the state-owned, Kremlin-owned media organization, for covert activity. Microsoft now says Russia is using fake videos to target the Harris Walls campaign. What can you do, and what should be done against this interference?
Well, first of all, I'm really proud of our bipartisan committee to elevate these issues. We also heard Meta, Facebook for most folks, is banning RT and related Russian outlets. The reason, I know this feels like a repeat of what we've talked about in the past, but the reason why I'm so concerned is it's not just Russia, it's Iran, it's China. Our adversaries know election interference, misinformation, disinformation is effective and cheap. We know as well that we've not had, because of a court case, things are better now, but we went for a number of months not having voluntary communication between our law enforcement and intel communities and the social media companies. That's better, but we went for a gap. Third, and we see this real-time play out on news stories every day, the willingness of Americans and sometimes American political leaders to believe stupid stuff that's on the internet without any validation at an all-time high. And finally, we also have these artificial intelligence tools that can bring this at a scale and speed that's unprecedented. And let me give you one example, and this is where I'm going to sound like some of my Republican opponents. I wish mainstream media, when there was the recent Department of Justice indictment of a group of individuals in Tennessee, Canadian citizens, who were knowingly or unknowingly taking Russian funds to influence right-wing commentators, again, knowingly or unknowingly, to spout Russian propaganda. Folks focused on that. What they didn't focus on, and we will bring this to Americans' attention today, is that the same kind of activity where Russia will create fake sites, and we're going to show in vivid detail Washington Post and Fox News, where a casual observer would not know. They would even put the byline of a legitimate reporter on these, and the balance of the site using these artificial intelligence tools that are not kind of deep fakes with faces and voices. But this is happening, again, real time. And my fear is it's going to ramp up as we get closer to the election. And part of this is to educate the public to think twice, but it's also to try to get these companies to be more forward-leaning on taking this down. We have enough differences between ourselves, Americans' kind of First Amendment right to say crazy things, but we sure as hell don't need foreign adversaries amplifying or interfering in our election.
And I have only a few seconds left, but let me ask you about Donald Trump on Truth Social and at his rallies, repeatedly suggesting that the election will be stolen if he doesn't win.
Listen, the 2020 election was the most secure in American history. And kudos to some of the folks in the Trump administration. People like Chris Krebs at CISA lost their job for telling the truth. I think the election integrity will be safe, but I am concerned about the misinformation, disinformation.